It's been a while since the NDSU women's soccer team has contended for the Summit League Championship. The Bison last won the regular season title in 2016. Their last league championship came in 2010. North Dakota State could lock up the regular season crown Sunday against St. Thomas. The Bison facing the Tommies in their regular season finale at Dakota Field. St. Thomas, though, outshot North Dakota State 8-3 in the first half. Peyton Mulberry, though, keeps the game scoreless with this excellent save in the 15th minute. However, the Tommies would open the scoring. 28th minute, the free kick is on its way towards the box. Tatum Treadle puts it in. St. Thomas with the 1-0 lead. Tommies scored the only goal in the first half, but the Bison outshot them in the second half to score twice. And North Dakota State wins its first regular season championship in 8 years with the 2-1 victory. With the regular season now done, the Bison get to host the Summit League tournament for the first time since that 2016 season. North Dakota State is the top seed, and NDSU, along with Denver, gets a first-round bye. After the opening round contest this coming weekend, the semifinals are Thursday, November 7th, and the championship is Sunday, November 10th, all at Dakota Field.